Neal Mohan's story begins quietly in a warm and supportive family environment that valued education, kindness, and steady effort. Born in India and raised partly in the United States, Neal grew up surrounded by people who encouraged curiosity and thoughtful exploration. His childhood was not driven by dramatic ambition, but by a calm interest in how things worked and why systems functioned the way they did. He enjoyed taking his time with learning, diving deeply into subjects that sparked his imagination. These early experiences shaped a mind that preferred clarity over noise and understanding over speed. As a young student, Neal showed a natural ability to focus, breaking down problems into smaller, manageable pieces. Teachers noticed his calm discipline and the way he approached challenges without panic or frustration. Instead of rushing, he analyzed each step carefully, always looking for the simplest path to a solution. He found comfort in structure, in understanding patterns, and in learning how different parts fit together. This approach would later become one of the defining traits of his leadership style. Neal's family played a significant role in nurturing his interest in learning. They encouraged him not just to study, but to ask questions, reflect deeply, and look beyond obvious answers. They taught him that knowledge mattered, but wisdom mattered even more. These gentle influences helped him develop a balanced mindset, analytical enough to handle complex problems, yet grounded enough to remain humble and attentive. From a young age, he learned that progress grows quietly when supported by curiosity and intention. As he moved through his teenage years, Neal developed a strong interest in technology and engineering. He was not drawn to technology because of trends or excitement, but because he saw beauty in how digital systems solved problems. He appreciated the precision of computer science and the way small innovations could create large-scale improvements. Technology felt like a puzzle, one that rewarded patience, logic, and creativity. This sense of fascination guided him toward a future shaped by digital tools and thoughtful design. When it came time for college, Neal chose Stanford University, a place where innovation and curiosity thrived. Stanford exposed him to ideas far beyond what he had imagined, from emerging digital networks to the early foundations of the Internet's future. He quickly realized that technology was not just a field, it was a language for shaping the world. Surrounded by brilliant classmates and inspiring professors, Neal found an environment where he could explore concepts freely and push his understanding further. It was a setting that challenged him, yet grounded him in the values he had carried since childhood. At Stanford, Neal studied electrical engineering, a discipline that matched his love for logic, structure, and problem-solving. He spent long hours studying complex systems, working through algorithms, and learning how technology could scale across millions of users. The work was demanding, but he approached it with the same measured calmness that defined his early years. Each challenge became an opportunity to refine his thinking. Each project strengthened his belief that technology, when built with care, could improve lives in meaningful ways. Beyond academics, Stanford helped Neal develop a clearer sense of the type of leader he wanted to become. He observed how great ideas often started quietly, shaped not by loud ambition, but by consistent, thoughtful effort. He learned that leadership didn't require force, it required clarity. These lessons influenced how he approached every decision later in his career. They taught him to prioritize long-term thinking, collaboration, and a steady perspective, even in the fast-moving world of technology. During his time at Stanford, Neal also developed a growing curiosity about how digital platforms influenced human behavior. He studied the early stages of online networks and explored how user habits shaped product design. He recognized that building technology wasn't just about engineering, it was about understanding people. This insight would later make him one of the most influential product thinkers in the technology industry. It taught him that successful products must balance innovation with empathy, As Neal approached graduation, he felt prepared not only with knowledge but with a mindset for navigating complexity. He understood that the world of technology would move quickly, but he believed in approaching it with steady intention. His calm confidence came from knowing that he didn't need to rush. He simply needed to continue learning, stay curious, and follow the quiet instincts that had guided him since childhood. With this sense of clarity, he stepped into the next phase of his life, ready to build, ready to lead, and ready to grow. After graduating from Stanford, Neal stepped into the world of technology with the same quiet determination that shaped his childhood. He began his career in product and management roles, where he quickly became known for his balanced perspective and thoughtful approach. Instead of chasing attention or rapid promotions, he focused on understanding problems deeply. He listened carefully, processed information slowly, and offered solutions grounded in logic rather than emotion. This calmness made him someone colleagues trusted, even in fast-paced or uncertain situations. Neal's early roles exposed him to different sides of the tech industry, from product development to business strategy. He learned how companies built digital experiences, how decisions were made, and how teams collaborated under pressure. Each project taught him something new about scaling systems and designing products for millions of people, but more importantly, these years helped him refine his leadership style. He learned that clarity mattered more than complexity, and that thoughtful execution often outperformed speed. As he built experience, Neal gained a reputation for problem-solving during moments when others felt overwhelmed. When systems broke or deadlines loomed, he remained steady, analyzing issues step by step. His calm presence became an anchor for teams navigating rapid changes in the digital world. This ability to think clearly under pressure would later become one of his greatest strengths. It allowed him to guide large organizations through transitions without losing focus on long-term goals. Neal's growing expertise eventually led him back to Stanford for business school, where he expanded his understanding of leadership, economics, and global-scale thinking. He became even more fascinated by how technology shaped human behavior, how platforms influenced creativity, communication, and community. Business school gave him the tools to connect engineering with strategy and product design with long-term vision. These insights helped him see technology not just as a system, but as an ecosystem. That perspective would soon define his next major chapter. Soon after completing his MBA, Neal joined Google, marking a pivotal moment in his career. Google at the time was growing rapidly, building new tools, experimenting with bold ideas, and discovering the future of the internet in real time. Neal found himself drawn to the challenge of creating systems that could support billions of users. He approached his new role with humility and readiness to learn. It wasn't the scale that excited him, it was the opportunity to solve meaningful problems thoughtfully. At Google, Neal worked on product strategy for advertising systems, which were becoming essential for the company's sustainability. The work was complex and required balancing user experience, business needs, and global infrastructure. Neal approached the challenge with patience, always returning to the principle of building solutions that were fair, clear, and scalable. His calm, structured thinking helped turn chaotic areas into stable, long-term systems. These contributions quietly influenced the foundation of Google's growth. Over the years, Neal earned trust across teams not through loud leadership, but through consistency. He asked clear questions, listened closely, and sought solutions that balanced practicality with vision. Colleagues appreciated his ability to translate technical challenges into simple strategies. He became known as someone who could guide difficult conversations without creating conflict. This ability to bridge perspectives eventually positioned him for an even bigger responsibility. Neal's work at Google eventually led him into deeper involvement with YouTube, which was evolving quickly into one of the world's largest content platforms. His role expanded as he began shaping product decisions that would impact creators, viewers, and advertisers around the world. He focused on building tools that made content creation easier, safer, and more accessible. These efforts required understanding both technology and people, something Neal excelled at. His calm approach helped strengthen YouTube's foundation during a period of rapid change. One of Neal's most significant contributions was modernizing YouTube's creator tools, analytics, and monetization systems. He believed creators needed clarity, stability, and transparency to build long-term careers on the platform. Under his guidance, YouTube Studio became more intuitive, giving creators clearer insights into performance and growth. His decisions were always grounded in empathy for creators' experiences. He wanted the platform to feel supportive rather than overwhelming. As Neal continued to take on greater responsibility, he developed a deep appreciation for the balance YouTube needed to maintain. The platform had to support creativity while protecting safety, encourage innovation while preventing harm, and foster expression while maintaining trust. These complexities required careful, patient decision-making. Neal's calm nature allowed him to navigate them with steady focus. He understood that building a global platform wasn't just about technology, it was about people, culture, and responsibility. His role at YouTube became a quiet but essential part of the platform's evolution. He wasn't always in the spotlight, but his influence shaped how creators uploaded videos, how users discovered content, and how the entire system worked behind the scenes. His leadership was built on clarity, not attention. This made him uniquely prepared for what would come next, and in time, the world would see the impact of his thoughtful leadership more clearly. As YouTube grew larger and more complex, Neal's role within the company continued to expand. He became responsible for guiding major product decisions, shaping the tools creators relied on, and improving the platform's overall experience. While many leaders focused on short-term trends, Neal kept his attention on stability and long-term vision. He believed that sustainable growth required thoughtful planning and deliberate improvements. His calm leadership helped YouTube evolve without losing its foundation. One of Neal's focuses was strengthening the relationship between creators and the platform. He understood that creators were the heart of YouTube and that their success shaped the platform's success. With this in mind, he worked to simplify monetization systems, refine analytics, and make policies clearer. He wanted creators to feel supported rather than confused. His work created a more predictable environment for millions of people building careers online. Neal also played a key role in expanding YouTube's reputation as a place for diverse content, education, entertainment, music, creativity, and more. He believed that platforms should help people learn and grow, not just consume endless content. This philosophy influenced how new features were designed, from playlist tools to long-form improvements. Neal wanted YouTube to be a place where meaningful ideas could thrive. His steady vision helped balance the needs of both creators and viewers. As YouTube faced challenges around misinformation, safety, and global growth, Neal stepped into more strategic leadership. These were complex issues with no simple solutions, requiring careful judgment and patience. Neal approached them with clarity, focusing on building systems that protected users without limiting creativity. He worked across teams, gathering insights and studying long-term effects. His decisions reflected a deep understanding of responsibility at global scale. During these years, YouTube underwent a transformation, expanding into live streaming, mobile-first content, and new creative formats. Neal oversaw the development of features that shaped how people interacted with the platform, including improvements to recommendations, community tools, and viewer engagement. His leadership behind the scenes helped YouTube stay stable during rapid growth. He believed that even the largest platforms must evolve thoughtfully. This belief guided every choice he made. One of the most significant shifts came with the rise of YouTube Shorts. The platform needed a way to support short-form content while preserving its identity and long-form ecosystem. Neal understood that the future of video couldn't be limited to one format. Under his guidance, Shorts was designed to complement, rather than replace, traditional videos. His thoughtful approach kept YouTube balanced as new content styles emerged. He embraced innovation without abandoning the platform's roots. Neal's leadership style set him apart in an industry often driven by speed and intensity. He was calm during crises, patient with decision-making, and grounded in long-term thinking. Instead of reacting impulsively to trends, he waited, analyzed, and chose the direction that felt meaningful. This steadiness was rare in the fast-moving world of tech. It earned him trust across teams, departments, and creators around the world. Over time, Neal's influence grew so quietly that many didn't realize how much of YouTube's structure he had shaped. He was involved in redesigning the interface, improving mobile performance, building creator tools, and refining core systems. His contributions supported billions of daily interactions, often in ways invisible to the public. He didn't seek recognition for these accomplishments. His satisfaction came from seeing systems work smoothly and people feel supported. As the years passed, Neal continued guiding teams with empathy and clarity. He believed that leadership wasn't about directing others, but about creating environments where people could thrive. He encouraged collaboration, thoughtful discussion, and careful planning. His presence helped reduce stress in high-pressure settings, allowing teams to think creatively instead of reactively. This mindful leadership prepared him for the moment when everything would change. In early 2023, YouTube's longtime CEO, Susan Wojcicki, stepped down. The transition required someone who understood the platform deeply, someone steady, experienced, and aligned with its long-term vision. Neal was the natural choice. His years of calm leadership, product expertise, and quiet influence positioned him perfectly for the role. And with this transition, he entered a new chapter, one that would bring even greater responsibility and impact. When Neal stepped into the role of CEO, he did so with the same quiet presence that had guided him throughout his career. There were no bold announcements or dramatic moments, just a smooth transition built on years of preparation. He approached the position with humility, focusing first on understanding the needs of creators, viewers, and teams across the platform. His leadership was rooted in listening rather than pushing. He believed that the best decisions come from clear understanding, not quick reactions. From his first days, Neal emphasized stability and long-term vision. He wanted creators to feel that YouTube was a place they could rely on, not just a platform that changed with every trend. He strengthened communication channels, offering more transparency around updates and policies. He also spent time studying how creators of different sizes built their communities. Neal believed that everyone, from small channels to global voices, deserved the same respect and opportunity. As new technologies emerged, especially AI-driven tools and generative media, Neal guided YouTube with a balanced perspective. He understood the excitement around innovation, but he also knew the importance of protecting creative authenticity. His approach was thoughtful and careful, ensuring that new tools enhanced creativity instead of replacing it. He focused on building systems that supported real human expression. This balance became one of his defining leadership qualities. Under Neal's guidance, YouTube Studio continued to evolve into a more intuitive and supportive space for creators. He pushed for clearer analytics, better educational resources, and simpler navigation. His goal was not just to provide data, but to give creators calm clarity about their progress. He wanted them to spend less time feeling confused and more time enjoying the process of creating. This perspective shaped countless updates across the platform. Neal also emphasized the importance of creator well-being. He recognized that the digital world could be overwhelming, filled with pressure, comparison, and constant feedback. He encouraged initiatives that promoted healthier online habits and safer communities. His decisions were guided by empathy, by the belief that platforms have a responsibility to protect the people who use them. This focus on well-being added a new layer of meaning to YouTube's evolution. As YouTube expanded globally, Neal considered how the platform could support education, cultural expression, and economic opportunity in different parts of the world. He believed that technology should empower communities, not overshadow them. His long-term vision included supporting creators from all backgrounds and lowering barriers to entry. This vision helped YouTube become more inclusive, diverse, and globally connected. It also strengthened the platform's mission to serve everyone. Throughout his leadership, Neal continued to rely on the calm thinking that had shaped him since childhood. When challenges arose, policy disputes, misinformation waves, or shifts in global media, he approached them without panic. He gathered information, consulted experts, and made decisions designed to last. His steady presence brought reassurance during times when uncertainty felt heavy. It reminded teams and creators alike that progress grows from clarity, patience, and thoughtful action. Neal's journey also brought him closer to his own values. He believed deeply in responsibility, the idea that those who build large systems must do so with care. He spent time reflecting on how YouTube influenced culture, conversation, and creativity around the world. This reflection shaped many of his decisions, pushing him to prioritize fairness, safety, and sustainability. He wanted to ensure that the platform remained a positive force for generations to come. Even with global responsibility on his shoulders, Neal stayed grounded. He continued learning, listening, and exploring new ideas with curiosity. He embraced the quiet moments where clarity often emerged, moments that reminded him of his early years, studying systems and solving problems one step at a time. His leadership wasn't about being the loudest person in the room. It was about guiding a community with wisdom, patience, and steadiness. What makes Neal's story inspiring is not just his rise to CEO, but the way he rose, through thoughtfulness, consistency, and quiet strength. He shows that leadership doesn't always require intensity or noise. Sometimes the greatest impact comes from calm minds, careful decisions, and the willingness to think long-term. Neal's journey demonstrates that success built on clarity lasts far longer than success built on speed. As this documentary comes to a close, let his story offer you a sense of calm confidence. Your path does not need to be rushed. You don't need to force your way forward or compare yourself to others moving quickly. What matters is intention, small steps taken with clarity and purpose. Like Neal, you can build something meaningful through patience and quiet dedication. Now allow your thoughts to settle as you take a slow breath. Let the story rest gently in your mind, reminding you that progress can be peaceful and steady. You deserve rest, clarity, and ease at the end of your day. Sleep, knowing that tomorrow is shaped by the intention you carry tonight. You are moving at the pace that is right for you. Good night.